I write in isolation. I need to be away, cut off for intense periods of time, really. And just to be shut off, but my guiding force throughout it is always Rashida, my wife, who I'd go back to with stuff that I've written or ideas that I have, bounce it against her, ask her what she feels, and to just get a second opinion and things. But generally I run off on my first instinct.
Ajay Hurbans has always had a firm commitment to raising standards and breaking new ground ever since he started writing and producing for the theatre, television and film medium some 11 years ago. Ajay's drama training at the University of Durban-Westville and his experiences in fringe theatre in Durban led him to re-examine the status of indigenous Indian theatre during the mid-1980s. He made a conscious effort to instill, promote and enhance greater production value, vibrancy and innovation into local efforts. His first production as co-writer, director and actor was Jump, incorporating a live rock band choreographed by Jay Pather and staged with a cast of young actors, dancers and singers. Jump, as a political satire, was a marked departure from the staid, familiar approach of its predecessors and found a discerning audience that embraced its innovative, creative writing and performance.
It generally starts off as a very general idea, something very basic, like if I can talk about Blast No Bang, which was the first really true piece that I wrote entirely out of what I wanted to write. There were no other considerations involved, unlike Bombay Duck, which had commercial implications and so on. And with Blast No Bang, it was a simple idea of two people trapped in a place. And there is that queasy notion or feeling of whether the situation was rigged or not. Did the male actually set up a situation like this for the female, which is what she eventually begins to believe, or not? It could easily have been one way or the other. And I'd like to play on that ambivalence, that you don't leave something clear-cut. It should work on some other dimension eventually. Of, did it happen or didn't it happen? Was it real or wasn't it real? And that's what I like to work on, that kind of twist between the two.
During 1987, prior to the writing and staging of Blast No Bang, Ajay produced, wrote and directed Bombay Duck, which in part emerged as a reaction to the tug-of-war issues between socio-political relevance and entertainment. As a parody of Indian cinema, Bombay Duck unashamedly embraced the realms of popular entertainment and completely sidestepped the almost obligatory inclusion of a political message. The play was a spectacular theatrical feast. Both Ajay and his wife Rashida also created a platform for the collaboration of various artists, musicians, dancers, actors, choreographers, and costume designers who had otherwise been ignored in theatrical circles. This formidable husband and wife team brought together a production on a scale unprecedented in Indian theatre in South Africa, consciously subverting images of Indian cinema and surprising urban and rural audiences with a rich and full theatrical experience.
She's the one! I don't know how you did it, Papnu, but that girl is the one for Akasha's movie.
Really, ma'am, sir? Really? Honest to goodness, you're not cross with me.
Well, I was about to put you on the cross, Paplu.
But, ma'am, sir, I'm a Muslim.
All right, ma'am, big noise!
Salam, ma'am, sir.
Salam! Namaste! Hello!
Hello.
Basmati.
Rice?
मेरा नाम Basmati.
Oh, I mean, nice. Very nice.
This is meant to be, this is meant to be a bloody love song. Why don't you get on with it? Why don't you get off with it?
I can play any part. A cruel stepmother. A loving wife. And she can't sing. With me, you won't even need a playback singer. Hey, what's your favorite song, Paplu?
मारी कटारी मर जाना मारी कटारी मर जाना के अखियां किसी से मिलाना ना ओ मिलाना ना मारी कटारी मर जाना के अखियां किसी से मिलाना ना ओ मिलाना ना
My jalebi and I'm your sutar penny oh bol paplu hoga ke nahi you are my samosa and I could be your frying pan be my man hoga ke nahi are bol paplu hoga ke nahi
नहीं कभी नहीं
चले जाओ यहाँ से हरम जाने चुअर के बच्चे ये चिकली मेरा है मैं तेरा जान ले लूंगा ब्लडी bastard. Yeah! What you waiting for? Get the bloody bastard.
मिला कैसा मजा आया मारू के छोड़ू तेरी टांगे तोड़ू बता तेरी मर्जी है क्या
अपना किसी को बनाना ना ओ बनाना ना मारी
मुझे हाय अकेला छोड़ गए
Following the fantastic success of Bombay Duck, Ajay Hurbans, working in collaboration with Rashida, produced, wrote and directed two other music theatre delights, Bombay Duck Take Two and Stardust. By 1992, however, Ajay was seriously pursuing his greatest and most passionate creative work, writing for film and television. He launched Indigo TV, a video magazine serving as a community network, covering a range of subjects from theatre to political and social debate. His most exciting writing moment, however, came when his screenplay, The Return, was selected as a production for the Mnet New Directions 1996 season.
And he's such a confident young man.
Amir, I don't remember him.
Yes, you do. He's the one who ran away with the Muslim girl.
What a disgrace. And on top of that, she made him a Muslim too.
Maybe I am. Look.
How did you know it was a boy?
I didn't. He knew.
And I know that when I was writing The Return, I had to balance two sides. One was a Hindu perspective, and on the other side a Muslim perspective. And both were parts of my community. So you couldn't in any way try to offend either one. So you had to choose, even in writing the script, the kind of images or dialogue that would not cross that line. That you ensure that both sides are in some way satisfied at the end. It has a lot to do with the way in which I view things myself. Also, and I wouldn't deny this, it's also shaped by what the marketplace demands. If you have something which is very contained, very ethnic, it has a very restricted market appeal. And if we can find ways in which we can pick our stories out of that and make it universal, make it appeal to somebody who's watching it in Greenland, China, Mexico, wherever, then I think the story itself is the important thing. So we need to pick out universals out of the stories, and all our stories have that. Whatever I still believe that all stories are mythic in nature. They still tap into common issues that all of us experience.
The Return established Ajay Hurbans as one of the few emerging dynamic screenplay writers in our country. It was therefore not surprising when his script for The Vow won the prestigious Channel 4 short film competition. This 35mm film, produced in association with South African-based Zencat Pictures, is presently in post-production and will have a worldwide screening and broadcast in theatres and on television.
What I learned through writing The Return and The Vow was that I need to make material accessible so that it can be understood by as wide an audience as possible. And for me, that's my primary goal, so that I don't, again, pigeonhole myself into any kind of ethnicity that may cut off other viewers or audiences.
Ajay Hurbans' creative force can be traced to his roots in Tongaat, growing up with his wonderfully supportive mother, his late father, and his brother and two sisters. His marriage to Rashida Musa further strengthened this support base. Their love for one another is deepened by Rashida's incredible and invaluable support and advice regarding Ajay's writing. He also draws inspiration from his two sons, Akil and Amir. Ajay is presently Senior Lecturer in Communication and Media Studies at the M.L. Sultan Technikon. He has recently been charged with the responsibility by the Technikon to investigate and research his syllabi for a proposed film and technology degree to be offered in 1998. Ajay Hurbans, pursuing his passionate craft of script writing in a refreshing, explosive but cohesive manner, which enables us to be transported happily in the frames of film. The tissue of his cinematic organism ripples increasingly outwards. His present and future work will taint the palate of moviegoers for whom the cinema is both a reflection of the world and a refuge from it.
I didn't warm my voice up yet. A, I, U, A, I, U, A, I, U, A, I, U. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. La 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 la